Hello and welcome to this episode of the Bourbon Brothers. My name is Gavin.
And I'm Jeff.
And today we have a special review for you. We're going to be looking at and talking about Thomas H. Handy Sazerac Straight Rye Whiskey. This is from Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. It's a very sought after bottle, and in my opinion it's one of the hidden gems of the collection. It's bottled at 132.4 proof, uncut and unfiltered. Jeff, we like that, don't we?
Yes, there's nothing better than
high alcohol content, bold flavors. It's beautiful. So, and it's with great history too. Jeff's going to go ahead and talk about that for a moment.
Sure, yeah. So, basically it's named from Thomas H. Handy, who was, for lack of a better term, a bartender in New Orleans. And he had worked at what, at the time they called coffee shops, a number of those in New Orleans, and sort of worked his way up to being one of the, the premier drink makers in New Orleans. And at the time, a Sazerac cocktail was made with brandy. Now, today most people will know it being made with rye whiskey or bourbon, and he is credited for making the switch from brandy to rye whiskey, and that was something that really took off. People really enjoyed the taste of the rye rather than the brandy. So he is who's credited with, his name is credited in this bottle, and that's sort of the story behind it.
Right, I mean, like I said, it's a gem of the BTAC collection. It's highly sought after. My local liquor store had 3 of these. This is the 2012 release. When I saw it, I had to pick all 3 up. So shout outs to Honey O Wine and Spirits.
Yes, couldn't pass up all 3.
You really can. When you see it, buy it and thank yourself later. Let's go ahead and get into the color. Jeff?
Sure. So, when you want to look at the color, you want to hold the glass up into the light. You sort of want to look at if it's, clarity of it. Then you want to sort of, maybe with this one you'll see there's some sediment in it, which is a result of being, the uncut, unfiltered. You get, a little bit of the char from the barrel. That's not going to be common with all, bourbons or whiskeys. But, this one I'd say, it's almost, a light copper.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Dark, deep amber with some copper tones in there. So,
it's one of the darker, probably, whiskeys you're going to find on the market.
Yeah, and it's the age statement on this is 6 years. So it's a 6-year-old, so it's a younger rye, but it still has that dark, nice color in there. Sure. Jeff, you want to get into some nosing with me?
Yeah, so you definitely get, some, fruity, smells in there, some notes. You also get a touch of floral, some, some caramel and like cloves and baking spice. They're all pretty prevalent there on the nose.
Yeah, a lot of fruits here. I'm getting some cherries, I'm getting raisins, and I'm getting candied oranges.
Yeah, I can definitely see those.
A really nice nose on there. Getting some baked apple as well.
So great bouquet on this this rye, and it tastes maybe even better than it smells. Oh, for being honest.
Can't wait. So let's get into it.
So with this you get, it's almost an enjoyable heat.
Absolutely.
Being that it's such a high proof, it's not really possible to not have the heat.
Yeah.
But it's not overwhelming, it's not burning, but there's a heat there. You get some black peppers, some caramel.
Yeah, the heat is nice and it's not overwhelming at all. I'm getting some intense notes of marmalade. It's a rye, so you're getting that allspice, that cinnamon, that black pepper.
Yeah, ryes, they tend to be more spicy than your bourbons, and especially at a high proof, you really get those rye and other spices prevalent. And then one thing else I did want to point out, you'll notice I prefer my bourbon with ice, where Gavin likes his neat.
Yes.
It's a preference thing. Obviously, with the ice, you get a little bit of dilution with it, but that can also help bring out some some flavors as well. So it's certainly a preference thing, whether you like it neat or if you like it with some ice. But
and a lot of people online, they'll ask, how do you know how many drops of water or ice cubes should I ask? That's all subjective. You try it neat is my recommendation first, then add some water, then add an ice cube. Whatever you like better. It's, you're never wrong. Yes, general thoughts. Let's talk about our ratings. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful rye. One of my favorite ryes. And it's $86. MSRP. On the secondary market, of course, some people will buy these and they won't drink them. They'll try and sell them. That a couple $100s. So, you know, if you can find it, get it at the store.
Yeah. But, you know, the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, it's released once a year in the fall. This is one of 5 offerings from the Antique Collection. And it's, you know, one of 2 ryes. This is the young rye. They also have an older rye.
Ratings.
Certainly.
You know, this was, again, wonderful, and, you know, I have to give it at least a 9.5, 9.6. It's really up there.
Yeah, this is probably, for sure, the best rye whiskey I've ever had. And one of the, you know, if not the best liquor, period, I've had. I'm going to give it a 9.8 out of 10 for my rating. You know, from start to finish, it's very enjoyable. You get, you know, some different tastes between the nose, the taste, and the finish. You know, it's a nice warming finish as well, I think.
It's hard to see how they could do this any better, and it's a great product. So I think that's all we have for you today.
So, hope you enjoyed you know, our review of Thomas H. Handy Sazerac Rye Whiskey from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection.